Hello, how are you doing? Sorry about that. The microphone wasn't turned on, which is a very important component of recording a YouTube video. That would have been a disaster if I had noticed and sat here rambling, even more so than I usually ordinarily do. And then none of it was recorded, you couldn't hear a word I was saying. How are you? Welcome back. Well, I promised that I would be doing daily uploads, and you could be watching this anytime, but this is the second day after I promised to do daily uploads. Maybe you're watching in the future, and I've already stopped with the regular content. But for now, for those living in the moment, as we all should, carpe diem and all that, we are back with some more white hot 50 cent, $1, $100 Zoom action. So far, so reasonably good if you're looking for sort of a timeline or context as to where we are sitting currently. We've just come off the back of a session where we were up $240 and then we ended up down $130. But overall, we're still winning. This is my 5th session of 50 cent a dollar for this YouTube channel. So we're still getting to grips with a lot of stuff that's going on. We're still getting to grips with some of the pre-flop stuff and how aggressive the game is playing and 3-bets and 4-bets and things like that. Don't think this is a hand that we want to call. We 3-bet versus the opener. The short stack assumed recreational goes all in for $36. We're going to fold king jack. Let me just check that I've got 2 different tables. I have not. I have the same table on both, and in fact, we'll watch this one because I got queens, which is a good hand. I think this should always be a 3-bet. I didn't want to waffle on too much. I had a borderline existential crisis at the start of my last video, and then rambled on about you guys spilling cornflakes and splitting up and marriage problems and relationship counseling, and I was like, well, you know, that's great and it's fun, but also we just ate into 5 minutes of cold hard poker strategy. And what's not to love about cold hard poker strategy? I'm winning cold hard cash, like hopefully we're going to do here with the set on the turn. Again, like now the hand just wants to start driving value. I think actually we both have a even split of Jack 10 suited. In terms of our nut ratio of hands, I think we do better. We probably have more sets. We're allowed to just be betting. Let's bring the other table in, because we always play 2 tables here on the YouTube channel. Hey guys, I am a YouTuber. You may remember me from literally every channel on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos. I don't know how many, a lot of people, I guess, watch YouTube and just don't log in. So all of our views are good. And then I look at the analytics and I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. I look at the analytics and it says, X percentage of your viewers watch and they don't subscribe or whatever. And it's like 80% of you watch, but you haven't subscribed, which, then whenever I watch YouTube, the people always say subscribe and hit the bell. I don't know what the bell does. You get notified when I post a video. Do what you gotta do. I gotta raise my aces. How do you think I'm playing overall? Let's use that as a topic of discussion. And are you enjoying the strategy content? I did see some messages that were like, once you stopped rambling on, the strategy was actually quite crisp. I feel like we played strategically pretty well. In the last video, there was some very interesting hands and whatnot, where I think we actually were pretty in tune with things that should be happening. We're going to 4-bet ace-5 suited over here. So I do feel kind of reasonable about how we're playing, especially since I've been out of the cash game arena, digital felt, for so long and playing the silly short stack 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 big blinds, which is infinitely complex game of varying stack depths and stack sizes and ICM decisions that tournament poker is. I feel like I'm adjusting okay to 100 big blind stacks, but let me know, what do you think? Am I just a big donkey? I don't know. And what do you think of the 100 NL Zoom pool as well? There's actually content on this channel, and I want to try and keep the content kind of evergreen in that you can go back and watch past episodes. You know, they're always there. So there's actually content on this channel of me playing some 2 cent, 5 cent, Then we moved to 25 cent, 50 cent, and now we play 50 cent, $1. Just because, you know, when I'm playing tournament buy-ins, pretty significant amount of tournament buy-ins every day. You know, we're usually on the live stream, we're usually in for like $1,500. I'm very comfortably rolled to play 100 NL. And I think it's just like more, it's the sweet spot of, nice bluff again here. It's the sweet spot of fun for, big enough to be fun for YouTube, in that pretty much every 30-minute segment, okay, they just rip 100 big blinds. You got it. All right. You got it. A lot of chips going in. It's a sweet spot of, it's big enough and fun enough that we're playing a lot of $200 pots, which is, you know, a significant chunk of money, for it to be entertaining for YouTube. But also, I want to keep this fun and fresh. And of course, like, I don't play a lot of cash games. I certainly don't study any cash game content. So playing 200 NL, again, I'm rolled. But do I really want to turn this channel into, oh shit, I got to put up another 30 minutes. I'm just going to get decked in for like another $600 to $800 or something, right? I don't think so. If we're doing daily content, so we're actually going to get some volume in now. If we end up in a situation where I feel very comfortable at 100 NL and we're up, let's say I've played 20 sessions and we're up $1,000, then maybe we'll take a shot at 200. But as with anything in terms of content creation, already I see a few people in the comments. For a start, we had some people in the comments that if I called a video like this like huge pots, because we played a bunch of all-in pots and there's a bunch of like, everyone at the table was all, like 2 players are all in, it's big pot, whatever. And it's YouTube, so I'm going to call it huge pots because we played some relatively huge pots. Already I see people in the chat, like in the comments that are like, huge pots. Huge pots, 50 cent $1. What are you calling it huge pots for, mate? Like, you know, the guy who's in my comments that don't make it to air, YouTube filters, man. It's like, play 50 cent $1. I thought you were pro. Play 510, you pussy. You know, things like that. Which is usually, anyone who actually plays high stakes doesn't care. That's usually from someone who's just like, wants to dick swing or just like ego and, you know, whatever. So I'm a little bit wary that when I play 2 cent, 5 cent, people are like, move up. And then we play 25 cent, 50 cent, and people are like, move up, right? If now I'm at 50 cent $1, people always want the next stake. So if I start playing $1, $2, people are like, when are you gonna start playing 500 soon, mate? Right? So we'll find. I think this is a pretty sweet spot. Like I say, I think this is kind of a nice stake where it's meaningful, but I can still not goof around. But if I want to fire 100 big blinds, I'm gonna fire 100 big blinds, $100, and like I'm very comfortable playing for a $100 stack. Whereas I think I probably would tighten up a little bit if I was playing 200 Zoom, because I'd be like not wanting to dust off like $600 to $800 in a video, like in like a cash game thing. I also, despite wherever my role is, and this is kind of like a very fair lesson. One supposes one is very, very smart from it. Even if I'm rolled, I don't want to play a game where I'm an underdog. Triple pot. Now, here's the thing about the triple pot. There are going to be some chops here. They're going to have some ace-X, right? Sometimes they're going to get there with an ace. But they just called my 3-bet preflop, so they probably don't get there with kings. And they probably don't get there with ace-king. So, am I allowed to just jam triple X pot, and there's not really a lot they can do about it unless they want a hero for a chop, because I have the range advantage of pocket kings and ace-king? Maybe. They did raise the flop, so perhaps actually they have the nut advantage of having 6x, but I think once they raise the flop, if they have a 6, they just bet. I think when they check, it's like some weak ace-X and just some bluffs. So, I don't know. The bluffs aren't calling and we fold a chop. Answers on a postcard. So yeah, despite where my role is, I think it's a good lesson. Or not a good lesson. I don't want to preach. But just a good rule of thumb is, even if you're rolled for a limit, I don't want to play a limit where I'm an underdog. And I think I would definitely be an underdog in a $1, $2 game. I'm sure there are 100 NL Zoom regs looking at this going, Spraggy, you're an underdog in the 50 cent a dollar pool. And that might be okay, but I think any edge that I'm giving up in the 50 cent a dollar pool is, I would hope, pretty small, especially I'm playing off-peak hours. I'm playing on this early morning schedule. I think any edge that I'm giving up is kind of hopefully negligible to the point where I don't mind it. I think at 1-2 I would get stomped on. I think there's probably some really, really strong players at 1-2 who would absolutely spit on me. And it's important to respect that. It's important to respect that. Just because financially you can take it, nobody really wants to be completely donating in a game that you want a fighting chance. If you're playing a large sample, if I was just like a hobbyist and I wanted to play, I would jump into the 1-2 and try and spin up, right? But if I'm going to be playing, I guess with daily content, I'm going to be playing 7 sessions a week. We probably end up, when I say daily uploads, probably like 6 a week. Sunday's a big tournament day. I suppose I could queue one up. We'll see if you're good. But yeah, game selection in that regard is very important. You don't just want to be grinding a steak, consistently grinding a steak where you're getting mashed. Unless you hate money. Unless you're like an anti-capitalist. You just like the redistribution of wealth. You take sort of a Bernie Sanders approach to No Limit Hold'em. You're just constantly redistributing stacks. Oh, political. Get out of the comments. We're not here for that. Check or bet? We bet on the flop. I'm going to find a value bet on the turn. With my ace and my 8. I'm going to check here. We big bet on the flop. Going to be some king X. Going to be some 9X. Going to be a lot of clubs. Mainly ace high. We block Jack 10 that bluffs. We block Queen 10 that bluffs. So in terms of my bluff catchers, this is not great. Let's say I decided to continuation bet on the flop with some ace highs. Maybe I'll call that. Maybe ace highs no heart. If I decide for whatever reason to bet, like, I don't know. What's a good bluff catcher? Ace 8 of diamonds? Any ace X of diamonds? We unblock Jack 10, Queen 10 and all the clubs. We would unblock backdoor hearts. This is a very poor bluff catcher. And versus this big bet from a recreational player, I think we have to be very, very wary. Like, I would be kind of upset. Don't like it if I had a king in my hand, probably. It feels like a range that's just going to be very, very 9x dense. That is to say, they have a lot of 9s. They got trips a lot. That's what we do as poker players. We create unnecessarily complex vernacular. Like saying vernacular instead of language. This is a range that's pretty 9x dense. It's just a way of poker players wanting to sound smart when actually they mean as fuck. This guy's got trips, hasn't he? I should fold. It would appear that I am facing a range that is fairly 9x dense. Yes, mate, you are fucked. Fold. King 6 suited. This is a spot where I've been struggling a little bit in the big blind defense. It's something we've spoken about in terms of strategy adjustments, in terms of zero anti games. For a min open, am I supposed to defend or am I supposed to 3-bet? What am I supposed to do at 150? My instinct would be to defend. And now I guess I would kind of want to raise on the flop with my hand. Seems like I can just chuck in a check raise there. I got really, really good, strong backdoor stuff. And I anticipate a pretty liberal open button, c-bet that flop kind of strategy where coming in with a fairly high check raise percentage, you know, like at least somewhere like 15-20% check raise seems reasonable to me. Again, there might be some cash game players, good cash game players watching this going 15, 20. I don't know. You have to take everything I say here with a pinch of salt. What I like to do is give you my best estimate and speculate as to what I think would be the best strategy and why I think that is the best strategy based on reasons and logic. But by no means am I don't want to come across as like a cash game. This is right and you're wrong, or this is definitely correct. I think I have a fairly reasonable idea given my understanding of poker and how things go down, and I'd like to think we're there or thereabouts. Kiko might be there or thereabouts. This $658.24. They got the god stack. They got the big stack in the game right now. And we are going to 3-bet again with ace jack. Just going for this 4x size out of position. I'd much rather play 3-bet or fold out the small blind for the most part. I think when there's no antes, you are much preferenced in just taking down the pot pre-flop. We're going to race here with the ace 5 of diamonds. Might be able to find some 4-bets should we get 3-bet with a hand like this as well. It's like the go-to. Pio loves ace 5 suited, mate. Pio and solvers and all that, they love ace 5 suited. Oh, they love it. So what else have I been up to? Well, this evening I've been playing a lot of chess. Now, those of you who tune into my live stream will know that I stopped playing chess on the live stream because as soon as you change the gaming category to chess, all the chess experts come on in, and then I was, and here's some good news. I was like a 600 elo chess player because I just started out. I never practiced. I just like move the pieces and see what happens because it was fun, and it just attracts a lot of chess elitists or something, or like they just want to flex, and they basically just come in and call me an idiot. Like, why don't you move there, bro? Like, you're an idiot, bro. Like, move the bishop, bro. Move the knight, bro. All right, Beth Harmon. You know what I mean? We've all seen the Queen's Gambit. Good for you. Good for you. I don't know how to play chess. That's why I didn't move that there. I'm just having a good time. So it got a little bit tiresome. So I vowed not to stream chess and to keep it as a game I play off stream and enjoy playing. Since then, I have won, and here's some. I'm not usually a maths guy, but here's some maths for you. 19 out of my last 20 chess matches, I've won. Because I watched some videos. Shout out to Gotham Chess here on YouTube. Levy, who is a great chess coach. I've watched a lot of his videos. I actually was playing some chess with watching Tonka play and Vic play. And those guys are better at chess than me. Would give me a few pointers and like showing me some openings and things like that, and watching Levy's videos. And since then, I've been playing, and I've won 19 out of 20 games. Now, admittedly, once I now know some openings and I know a little bit about what's going on and I'm actually thinking about it, it's such an easier game. I was being stupid before. I was like, I'm not going to study chess. I'm going to play my own Maverick style. But it turns out my own Maverick style is just playing shit chess. It's just giving away. It's giving away pieces. Sort of self imploding strategy I was playing before. So it's kind of natural that I've won 19 out of 20 because I'm climbing from 600. I'm now 8. Let me have a look. Let me get my brags in, okay? 860? 880? Surely I'm not as high as 880. Let me load chess.com, everybody. Statistician Spraggy is 866, which is pretty nice little climb. I'm on a nice upward trajectory. Now, of course, like my very basic strategy is winning because I'm playing the people at the moment who were like me before. Is like I'm just not gonna read anything or look at anything. I imagine I'm gonna plateau out at like whatever, probably like hopefully towards like 950, 1k. We'll see how it goes. But chess is going a lot better, and I'm really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying it. It's a really interesting game. My days really at the moment are just stream, study poker, play chess, play cash games, sleep. That's it. But of course, we're still in lockdown here in the UK, so I don't really have too many other things to be doing. It's actually nice just to be able to completely commit and sort of throw myself into work, I guess. This is, of course, it's work. It's my job. So, all good, and I hope you guys are enjoying all the stuff. Are we going to bluff here, chat? Are we going to bluff here, YouTube comment section? Would YouTube comment section bluff with 5-5? This is a test to see how many people Again, they tell me in the analytics where you guys viewer retention, and we're 20 minutes in, and how many people watch for how long. Would you guys bluff 5s, or would you show it down? I think I'm going to bluff 5s. I don't think we win often enough against some 6x and some queen x, and I want to try and get a fold. My opponent has an ace, and that's as strong a hand as they're really ever going to get there with, so they're not going to fold it, and we get looked up. Would you check 5s and show down? Or would you decide to bluff and try and fold out a better pair? I think one of the things that wants me to, or sort of leads me into wanting to bet, is, at least on the turn, I think a lot of my opponent's air is going to start bluffing versus my check back. So once they check twice, usually they have some sort of showdown value. Usually there's some pairs in play there, rather than just some like rando 10 highs. That is, of course, an important consideration. Here we've got a 3-bet pot, blind versus blind. I think I'm just going to go ahead and go for a small bet. With the ace of spades in my hand, obviously that is all the cooler, all the more reasonable. And not folding to a 3-bet here with ace 10 of diamonds in any sense. Blind be blind. We're going to see some worse ace x decide to 3-bet me. Obviously some top end stuff as well. Here, I think I'm just going to value bet small again. I'm just going to bet small again. We're going to have a decent amount of king x that decide to 3-bet blind versus blind. Obviously, there's some slightly better hands we can fold out, some pairs we can fold out. Here, blind versus blind. The check back is a little bit, I wouldn't say concerning, but I do think that if my opponent gets here with like king high or queen high, they're a favorite to just bluff on the flop. I think the check back is usually indicative of some sort of showdown value on the Jack X board. Now, be that a better ace high, could well be. I don't think much Jack X at this depth. I think Jack X just kind of wants to bet. We could see something like aces or kings check. I think hands like 8s, 9s, 10s more likely to decide to bet. They require a little bit more protection, whereas the aces and kings don't and might just check back and then go for 2. I'm certainly not going to fold the nut flush draw. I'm going to stick around with my ace 10 high, which can still win. If my opponent decides to check back like ace 5 and start betting on the turn, obviously that is a consideration. Queen river is going to improve, I guess, some of their bluffs if they decide to delay a bluff with a queen. It's kind of interesting. I think it's really hard for me to rep a very strong hand once I've checked twice. Don't think I would check my jacks twice, and if I do, I think I'm check raising the turn with my jacks. So there aren't really many hands that, in fact, probably no hands that I would jam here for value, which means that we can't jam as a bluff, and in fact, we're just going to fold. I don't feel good about hero call in the river. I would rather have hit a diamond. That was my strat. Or for it to go check, and we beat a better, or rather a worse ace high from time to time. Or to hit an ace and get there against some pairs from time to time, be it kings or something else. I'm going to keep betting here, going to keep bluffing. Pick up a lot of equity on the turn, and I want to apply pressure to some ace highs. I want to apply pressure to some 4s. Obviously, we just got bags of equity against anything apart from nut flush draw, for example. Seems like a pretty small part of the range. What do we got to call? Maths. $7 into a pot that's going to total out at 26. Don't need to win that often, do we? We have 9 outs to a flush. 8 to a straight, minus the 6 we've already counted. It's like 15, so we've got 30% equity. Seems like an easy call to me. A big thumbs down for the repeat jack, because we're just not going to improve. Interestingly, I don't think they check raise much Jack X on the turn. But also interestingly, I don't think I can really get them to fold much with $28 behind a broken stack. And once they check raise, it's pretty strong. In general, like hands like King 10, right? Hands like Queen 9 and Ace Queen, and, you know, pocket 4s and things. So I'm just not going to bluff. I probably have a pretty bad hand to bluff with as well, given that I want them to be, you know, bluffing with some diamonds and things like that, or bluffing with some queens, like just bare queens maybe. Somehow they get to the turn with. So, not a range I feel particularly keen to bluff. I'm chucking my graph up to see where we're at for today. So far this session, we are plus $10. Bit of a slower pace to it, right? Like last episode, and again, you could be watching this in any order, it doesn't really matter, but a couple of our sessions, we were up 2.5 binds, and then we dropped down those 2.5 binds, then dropped another 1.5 binds, and stacks were flying, people were crying. This is a lot of a gentler daily vlog today, I suppose. But it's nice to catch up. Got some strategy stuff in. We've spoken some chess. Pretty quiet week in terms of tournaments on the stream as well. I haven't really been able to gain any traction yet in Turbo Series. We're not hemorrhaging, but we're not like stringing together winning sessions or anything. We're still pretty significantly up for the year. I think we're still up like 5k for the year or something. 15k score has obviously just given us a nice cushion, and then we've had some winning sessions around it. I'm showing down 4s and losing to 4 of a kind. See, I only had 2 paired. I had jacks and 4s, and they had the literal best possible combination of cards one could ever have. And they bet $1 into 12 on the turn, and we just clicked call because we had to win 8% of the time or something. Checking back an ace. Opting for a delayed bet against Doge. And I think during the course of this also we completed one of the throwables challenges, so I can throw a pig at some people now. There we go. Pigs might fly, eh? And away he goes. What a day. Not the best throwable, of course. I have been thinking about doing a special high value, high end content piece here on YouTube where we talk about the rankings of the emotes, the throwables, sorry. And do sort of a ranking system with S tier through whatever, F tier. The best by far is the mute. Is this mute throwable? Oh, I'm on the wrong table to show the mute throwable. Is the mute? Did you see the pig? That's the flying pig that we just unlocked here. It's fine. It's just an okay throwable. It's reasonable. The best is the mute when people are chirping on the table or talking, saying whatever. Shit talking, you have this mute one, watch, and it just, how disrespectful is that? Is that so good? So when people are crying about bad beats and how they're like the unluckiest player in poker, like traditionally we've been hitting them with the tiers, which is again just a great throwable, but I really feel like it's been superseded by the mute. The mute is so strong because this is like classic, like you're a crybaby, but this is so disrespectful, like I don't even want to hear it, mate. You know, like tell your story walking. Bore off. Sorry for that guy, by the way, who was just in a very small pot and very, very innocuous situation and didn't say a word and then got thrown with the tissues and the throwable. Probably looks at me and is like, what's this guy's problem? What's this guy's problem? People often ask me, what's my problem? You know, how long have you got? I got a list for days. My problem right now is I 3-bet Jack 9 of clubs and the flop's 9 high, and we're in a situation that isn't particularly enviable should we be raised on the flop. Alas, I think we got a bet. Hand's good. Drive some value, get some protection. 9x is definitely a preferred 3-bet. You know, hands like Queen 9, Jack 9, King 9 tend to want a 3-bet a decent chunk of the time as bluffs. You always, the deeper you are, the more suited you want to be as well. So when you have, in tournaments, for example, when you're like 30, 40 big blinds, you might want to use some offsuit combinations just for the blocker value. Depending on positions, but just for the blocker value. When you're deeper and people can be expected to call a little bit more often, you want to delve into the suited section of your range. I think chat, it doesn't look like, sorry, I'm so used to saying chat because of Twitch. I think comments that we're coming up on our 30 minutes and we're going to hit sit out next big blind. And I haven't played a pot over like really anything significant, have I? Well, check in on the graph before you go. If you did enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that tackle as I've been saying, that really helps the channel, really supports the videos. Outside of that, I don't know what I'm going to thumbnail this video. I really don't know what I'm going to thumbnail this video because it's very hard to clickbait what's just happened. Not at MTT, no flat from cutoff. Fair enough. Fair enough. They're all out tonight, aren't they? The experts are here. What if I can bluff the river, though? Oh, that's why you don't flat the sixes. They got me. I had to do it just before the video's ending. Obviously, I'm gonna get my bluffs in. I'm gonna get my bluffs in. Nice of that guy to give some advice on his way. It wasn't involved in the hand. It was not involved in the hand, but just nice for a little parting bit of advice. I appreciate it. These big MTT donks out here, eh? Trying to get people to fold kings at the river by turning their 6 into a bluff that they should probably just fold pre and fold on the turn. I'm giving it away. I'm absolutely giving it away. That's that. I don't know how I'm going to clickbait. Big bluffs. Disrespectful flats in the cutoff. It's not very exciting stuff, is it? Hang out with Spraggy. We've got our stinger still for Turbo Series. Everybody hop in. Brum, brum. That's the graph for the session. We made $6.72. We were up a little bit more until I bluffed with the... This is where I gave it away with that pair. Started well. We were up $50, $60. I'm in the content cage. Daily uploads. There it is. Enjoy your day if you're watching in the morning. Enjoy your rest if you're watching in the evening. That's me. And I will see you all next time.